Welcome, to Elderly Care, where every story honors the strength and wisdom of growing older. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more heartfelt advice and empowering stories for seniors. If you find value in today's video, please like and share it with someone you care about, because these quiet truths deserve to be heard. Now, let's explore something truly fascinating. 5 surprising things most seniors over 65 can no longer do. But if you can, it might just mean your body is aging in reverse. There is something profoundly quiet about aging, something that sits gently in the background of our lives. At first, it's subtle. A twinge in the knee after a long walk. A bit more time needed to remember a name. The feeling of sleep becoming more delicate than it used to be. And for most people after 65, these small signals pile up and grow familiar. But for some, the opposite happens. While time moves forward, their bodies seem to take a curious step backward. Strength returns. Balance sharpens. Energy glows from within. They don't just look young, they feel young. Their bodies are quite remarkably aging in reverse. And it's not some fantasy, nor the stuff of rare miracles. It's real. Researchers and doctors alike are now observing a growing group of seniors who seem to defy the conventional path of aging. Their bodies do what most of their peers can no longer do. And this contrast tells us everything. If you're over 65 and still able to do the following 5 things with ease, you may be among the rare individuals whose biological age is heading in a different direction than their calendar years suggest. Let me take you through this story, not as a lecture, but as a reflection, a gentle walk through the quiet truths of our bodies and what they whisper to us as the years go by. It began for James at the age of 67. He'd always considered himself average in terms of fitness, not lazy, but not exactly a gym enthusiast either. After his retirement, however, he noticed that many of his friends started slowing down. Golf outings were replaced with doctor's visits. Family vacations became shorter, often due to fatigue. But James felt different. He woke each day with a strange kind of clarity, an ease in his body, as though his joints had remembered their youth. His daughter even remarked one day, "Dad, you seem like you're getting younger." Intrigued, James began paying attention, not just to how he felt, but to what he could do that others around him seemed to struggle with. That curiosity led him to a community of researchers studying the concept of reverse aging, or what they more accurately termed biological rejuvenation. One of the first signs he learned about was something surprisingly ordinary, rising from a sitting position on the floor without using hands for support. It's something most seniors quietly give up. The body stiffens, knees ache, balance wavers. Yet for those like James, this basic movement is still within reach. Why? Because core strength, joint mobility, and neuromuscular coordination remain intact, qualities often found in individuals whose biological systems are younger than their age implies. The ability to do this simple motion without struggle is now considered by many geriatric experts as one of the most reliable predictors of vitality after 65. James began testing himself regularly. Each time he sat down to read to his grandson on the rug, he noticed with quiet pride how naturally he could rise. No hand, no knee push, just a gentle lift. It's not about showing off, it's about awareness, about learning to listen to your body when it speaks in small ways. The second thing he noticed was how he handled temperature changes. While many of his friends began layering sweaters, even on warm days, James felt comfortable in cooler weather. He wasn't just being hardy, it was his metabolism. One lesser-known effect of aging is how the body begins to lose the ability to regulate as heat. But in those who are aging in reverse, the internal furnace still hums. Their thyroid function, blood circulation, and muscular insulation remain efficient. They sweat when they need to. They warm up naturally. It's another quiet sign, one you may miss unless you're paying attention. But James noticed. There was one winter afternoon when he visited his old friend Malcolm. While Malcolm's home was heated and cozy, he still wore 2 cardigans and had a heated blanket on his legs. James, in contrast, felt just right in a light pullover. That moment stayed with him. It wasn't about comparing strength or stamina. It was about understanding the language of the body and realizing that something inside him was still working better than expected. Then came the third revelation: mental clarity and memory sharpness. Most people accept some degree of mental fog after 65, misplacing keys, forgetting a name, needing more time to focus. It's considered normal. But for those whose bodies are defying age, the mind remains startlingly sharp. James could still recite old poems by heart, recall the exact date of his granddaughter's piano recital, and follow complex conversations with ease. What's the secret? It turns out it's not just about doing crosswords or Sudoku puzzles. It's about a brain that's well-fed, well-oxygenated, and protected. Experts now point to the powerful role of consistent oxygen flow through cardiovascular health, rich omega-3 intake, and low systemic inflammation. Seniors who age in reverse often have routines, be it brisk walking, gentle breathing exercises, or anti-inflammatory meals that keep their brain young, not just in structure, but in spirit. And that's where the fourth marker enters: muscle tone and grip strength. Most seniors over 65 experience a slow but steady loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia. It makes carrying groceries harder, climbing stairs slower, and opening jars nearly impossible. But in James's case, something else was happening. He had never trained like an athlete, but he had taken up light resistance exercises after seeing a documentary about healthy aging. Without realizing it, he was preserving his muscle cells. His grip strength remained firm, something so minor, yet now recognized by aging researchers as one of the most predictive indicators of longevity. A strong grip correlates with better heart health, better brain function, and reduced mortality. There was a moment that crystallized this realization. One Sunday morning, his neighbor Helen knocked on his door, struggling with a tightly sealed jar of jam. James twisted it open effortlessly. She smiled and said, "Well, you've still got it." But that moment wasn't just about muscle. It was about vitality. It was a symbol of his inner youth, a system still humming at a pace rarely seen in people his age. And finally, the fifth and perhaps most emotional marker: the desire and energy to connect, contribute, and explore. Aging often brings a quiet withdrawal from the world. For many, this happens unconsciously. The days become quieter, the phone calls fewer, the adventures shorter. But those who are aging in reverse often find themselves growing more curious. They sign up for courses. They take walks not because they have to, but because they want to see the sky. They initiate conversations. They feel pulled toward life, not away from it. James felt this too. At 68, he started volunteering once a week to mentor young men in his community. He said it gave him a sense of purpose that was richer than any salary he had once earned. He didn't do it for recognition. He did it because he could. His energy levels allowed it. His emotional openness supported it. His body, still strong, made it possible. All these 5 things, rising from the floor, regulating temperature, mental clarity, muscle strength, and emotional engagement, may seem unrelated on the surface. But taken together, they form a quiet constellation of signs. If you are over 65 and you find yourself still doing these things without strain, your body may very well be turning the clock back. You may be aging in reverse. But what if you're not? What if these things feel hard? If standing from the floor feels like a mountain? If cold air cuts deep into your bones? If memory feels clouded? If your muscles feel tired? And if life seems quieter than you hoped? Here is the gentle truth. It's never too late to start changing that path. The body is more forgiving than we give it credit for. Neuroplasticity doesn't stop at 30. Muscle regrowth doesn't end at 50. Joy doesn't have an expiration date. And aging, while inevitable, isn't always linear. You can begin by doing small things that matter. Simple resistance movements. Even just using your own body weight. Walking with intention. Prioritizing omega-3 rich foods, leafy greens, and hydration. Breathing deeply each morning to oxygenate your brain. Spending time under the sun in safe doses. And perhaps most importantly, rekindling your curiosity. Talk to people. Ask questions. Say yes to invitations. Read something new. Sing in the kitchen, even if no one's listening. These aren't just lifestyle changes, they are acts of cellular kindness. They tell your body, we're not done yet. There's more living to do. There's a quiet revolution happening among seniors who are choosing vitality, not passivity. They are not trying to be young, they are choosing to be well. And in doing so, they are defying expectations. Perhaps today is the day you begin listening to your body in a new way. Maybe you'll test your ability to rise from the floor, or notice how your body responds to the evening breeze. Maybe you'll pay attention to how quickly you recall the name of an old friend. Or maybe you'll simply look in the mirror and remind yourself, your story is still unfolding. You have every right to be strong, sharp, and whole. If you're among the few who can still do these 5 things after 65, cherish it. You are walking proof that age is not just a number. It's a narrative, and you have the power to shape it. And if you're not there yet, take heart. Because today, right now, is a beautiful time to begin.